Hi, Senthil. Thanks for joining us today for the interview. So you recently launched Oracle Movies,
Okay.
NFT marketplace for movies. So can you walk me through and explain on how this marketplace works? Suppose I'm a producer who's like made a short film or a movie. So how
Okay.
will it work from the start to the end, kind of?
Okay. I'll start with the cube. See, the oracle we are talking about is it's a kind of a Greek goddess, right? We have a lot of people who can do prophecies, who can predict what might happen. So those are called oracle. This is one part of it. We are doing with films. So again, this is a film connection. Matrix has that oracle, right? That's a woman who can tell what the future is. So Neo gets all the information from him or whatever. People believe it or we don't believe it, but you are the one, right? That's the whole part. So we are saying, okay, you are the one who have to make it. So this is the second aspect of it. And third part is blockchain itself has a concept called Oracle. So if you use any large blockchain applications, what is the source of truth? So you need to have a singular truth, right? You can't have multiple truth. Assume somebody is bidding, let's say, who will win this match? And based on that, we can write a smart contract which says, okay, hey, if this guy wins, you will get this portion of it. So how does a blockchain talk to outside world? They talk through a blockchain, through an Oracle. So these are
Okay.
Oracle. So that's the significance of why we call it Oracle movies. Um, so movies have a lot of things happening. So we are saying, okay, hey, what is information about the movies? Is it authentic and can we deliver value to it? If people don't trust your numbers or data or whatever you claim, right, then you're not going to make impact. Okay, so generally, I will go back to slightly on the problem statement itself. Okay, see, there is something called Berne Convention, and there is a copyright law, and there's a cinematograph act. These three define what we do actually. Okay. In intellectual property, there are two places where things are mandatory. One is patent. If you want to get anything patented, you have to mandatorily register and pay a fee and wait for a couple of years to get that part done. Similarly, if you are a brand and you want to establish, you have Media Nama brand. If you want to establish it, you are the brand, so nobody can copy it. You will trademark it. That is also mandatory. But because of Berne Convention, anybody who creates a content, his assumption, hey, you are the because you create the content, you are the creator, and you can authorize somebody, or you can do it yourself, who can copy the content and make multiple copies of it. See, this was not a problem 1,000 years back when people had to go in paper. Okay, now we have machines, we can get thousands of copies can be made. Digital copying is a lot more easier. Okay, so copyright plays a lot of. Okay, then we'll okay. So generally for books, games, software, movies, a lot of things can be copyrighted. Okay, but most people do not copyright. Only when somebody copies, okay, unauthorized copy kind of thing happens, somebody pirates something, then only you go to, okay, let's go to a thing. Then you never learn the law itself, what is required for it. Okay. So in the Copyright Act, the one aspect would be, we call it Cinematograph Act. See, there are multiple people who are acting in a movie, but the Cinematograph Act itself is it's kind of an outdated system. Though everybody comes and joins together to take a story as a movie content, and they spend a lot of money on it. But the current law system are focused more towards the producer. Whoever puts the money or source of income is the guy who's required for owning that part. So when you have a censor certificate, whoever paid the money, maximum money, his name will be there as a producer, right? And what happens is all the copyright, the artist, singer, everybody writes a copyright, or they let go of the copyright for a emolument or something, right, with the producer. So all the benefit should go to the producer. So current system itself is flawed in some way. We can talk about it later. But anyway, so think of it, somebody made a movie. He put his own money, he could be director or actor, they've done their part, okay. Now, there are, okay, how do you do it? So small thing you can put on a YouTube, but YouTube is not a place where you can make a lot of money until if you have millions of followers, subscribers, maybe most people want to discover the part, right? So people want to come on a big screen. That's very important for people, okay? So if you are a YouTube star or a TikToker or whatever, anybody who has done anything on media, Instagram, a club, so they want their face to come on a big screen. That's a very attractive for film. Okay. And that's why the whole story is made in a big format, big camera, lighting, all graphic. So that's our difference. Okay. So they have made all the part, but theatrical, see, you can, earlier making movie was difficult. Now movie making has become very simple. Okay. So you can have a DSLR camera, a couple of cameras, some light, some audio, you can get something record. And everybody has a laptop or a Mac or whatever. You can get some professional software also available. Earlier, you used to pay hundreds of $1,000s to do it. Now, at least monthly subscriptions available. You pay 5,000 rupees per month, you can get a software which can help you edit your whole movie on your laptop, right? That is possible now. So those are easier one now. But theater is still kind of a cartel, right? If you want to have theatrical release, how many screens will you get? That determines the recovery part of how much money you can make out of it. Predominant money is still coming from theaters. And if a movie is a hit, then you need to have word of mouth publicity is required, or digital marketing, everything is required at that part. If movie becomes a hit on theater, then only a channel is going to give you a good price, or an OTT platform is going to give you a good price. This is how it happens. Okay, but most small first-time producer, even releasing a movie is a challenge for them. And because of pandemic, what we realized was hundreds of movies. I'm coming from Chennai. Okay, so in Chennai, hundreds of movies, at least 400, 500 to my knowledge, which are finished movie ready to release and have not released. Okay, so most will not get a theatrical release. Item one. Even if they release 5 movies a week, assuming one movie runs only for 1 week, right? One big movie comes into that play. The big movie will get. We have only about 1,000, 1,100 theaters we have which can show these movies, right? Some are in good location, other won't be a good location. Again, we had a pandemic thing. People may not come back until they see a big star, a big story, or is it worth their time to come to that part? Okay, so a big theater will take 600 to 700. Movie will take a 600 700 movie theater. They will control the theater, and the other rest of the 4 movies will get only maybe 300 400 seat among them. So the smallest guy may get only 30 40 seats, theaters, and that theater will not get filled because it doesn't have a marketing budget. So this is how. So it's totally staked against the producers currently. So nearly every movie is going to be a flop. 80, 90%, 95% flops are something estimated. Second part, these producers, see, those who are doing an experimental movie, they put their own money, and okay, even if I recover money, I'm happy for it. Okay, but if you're a commercial movie guy, you borrow money. So how the production works is, producer doesn't have all the money. Let me make a movie for 10 crores or 5 crores, right? He doesn't have 5 crores when he starts the movie. We don't do it when you build a bridge, right? You can't say, okay, I don't have full financing, let's take it later part. You have to make sure who is going to fund it. Everything comes, or commitment is there, then only movie starts. Films don't start that way. If you want to build a bridge or a nuclear power plant, all the money has to come. When you do a metro, right, Japanese government is giving 50,000 crores kind of thing, okay, and a 50-year loan at 0% interest. Who gives that part? Only that is what they are trying to get into that mode, right? Film doesn't work in that way. So mostly what happens, film, let's say a producer or director, whoever is going to start, right? You'll say, okay, I have 20% or 30% of the budget is what I have planned for. That's good enough for me. And they wait for, okay, hey, this hero's dates are available. For whatever reason, or maybe this guy's previous movie become a hit and now he's available, can we sign up for them? Or maybe I have a story, or a new actress can be bought. So they come with this model and they make an announcement. Couple of photo shoot will happen and they'll make an announcement, okay, hey, we are launching a movie, okay. And then we have some time for pre-production will happen, then the production also will happen in schedule 1, schedule 2, any rest of shooting will happen, then post-production will happen, right? So by the time he goes for schedule 1, he needs money. He'll borrow from one guy to get the initial part done. When he goes second schedule, because if you have a bigger stars, right? See, smaller movies with unknown stars generally don't sell well. So if you bring a bigger star, you have additional cost. And how much money goes to the top actors would be, or even if known director is there, half the money of the production cost goes to only these 2-3 guys. That's how the system is built. Okay, the rest of the money is what they have to make the movie and market as well. So that's how the current stake works. Again, another problem is producer not used to giving royalties. So actor will demand is, okay, with my face only you're selling the story. So you get me a big chunk, pay me upfront. That's what they ask for, right? Anyway, so movie is finished, everything is shot. By the time movie is finished, this guy, some over budget will happen. Cost will increase, something else will increase, or the expectations of the movie will increase. If we can do a better CG, the movie will look better. Let's do something extra. So we do all kind of things. Okay, let's add one more item song to make it masala, and we have to pay an artist for that. So cost will go up. So like software projects, right? A movie also never is finished on time or on budget. Most will go to overshoot. Okay. Then because of lockdown part, see, anybody can announce a movie announcement. It's very easy. You have to get a couple of people, a PR person and a magazine, newspaper coverage, and you can release, okay, I'm launching this movie. So Senthil is going to announce a movie with this actress and this hero and some story. We can get it, okay. But releasing movies, not even control of top guys, right? So you have no control of when you can release a movie. See, think of it, okay, any factory or production, right? This is not a fully controlled. Anybody can say everybody's more like a farmer. They are producing some content and they have to sell. They can't have control over it. If there's a marketplace, more people have access. So we believe this problem need to be solved.
Okay.
Another part, like this whole thing, So in the post-production part, right? People start selling. Okay, hey, I can sell the audio rights. Somebody's willing to buy the audio rights. It's straightforward process. So they sell the audio rights for to get some more money. Okay, probably the guy who is sitting abroad, right? He doesn't have much time to watch the movie or anything. He will take the risk part in some way. He'll commit some money, and they have commitments is what they require. Okay, so they need more money for marketing everything. They will sell the first foreign rights, FMS
Okay.
or whatever right, they'll sell. Okay, so that is how the money is being made, and eventually the movie theatrically should happen. Now theatrical, if there's a delay happens, something else happens, these guys are borrow at huge interest rates. Okay, this is equivalent to usuri, right? So, people are paying between 3 to 5% per month. They borrow at that rate.
Okay.
So if the movie is delayed by 6 months, so think of it. Okay, so another cost goes up by this much, right? It becomes unviable.
Okay.
So because of either debt or other reasons, instead of focusing on the creative part or marketing part, he's okay, somehow let me get rid of the movie. That is how the initial people will go into stuck into that mode. Okay. So what they do is they will sell something called first copy, or if you see the older movie concept, they used to call it negative rights. I finished the movie, everything is got censored up to I've got everything, nothing is pending. I'll sell to you and you pay me all the money. So then they'll get 10-20%. So now whatever Netflix is doing or Amazon is doing, okay, hey, you made this money for this cost, I will pay you something extra, and they get the credit. And everything is owned by the new guy. So that's a movie release. Okay, so this company is releasing the movie, right? That kind of thing happens because of that. Then we'll have a theatrical. See, earlier theatrical, some movies to maybe in 1989 Hindi movies to run in Chennai or Madras, right, for 1 year, 1.5 years. One theater does digital. Okay, so that is what we are trying. Okay, so but a copyright for the content is valued by law. The guy who creates it, he should be able to benefit out of it at least for 60 years. This is also applicable for music and books as well. But books is more like after the death of the author is what the count starts. But that is a number. Okay. So think of it. Something is worth 60 years value movie, but most revenue will come in first 30 to 60 days of the movie release, right? This guy, because of desperation, is selling it out fully. So I believe something is wrong here. Okay, suddenly it's more like an employee kind of thing. What I've said is, like, we are talking about creator economy. All these are artists, talent people. Okay, so as a creator, if you get paid once, maybe that's not the right approach towards it. So you should get some recurring revenue from that movie or content what you create. So your creation, right? And this movie is going to run on some OD platform, some channel over a period of time, multiple times going to come. And at some point, the revenue keeps accruing. Okay, the guys who bought it, they are making revenue, but the actual creator are still suffering. Okay, this is what so we are saying, hey, first part, movie is there. If you're unable to sell, we will try help you sell it. And again, why do you are limiting yourself to only an India market? Why can't we sell globally?
So one doubt here. So when you're selling the movie, right, is it only for theatrical release, or can an end user like, I want to watch that movie? Will I be able to rent it for some time? Is that also something?
So, okay, let's divide it in couple of, so there are a couple of problem statements here itself. Okay, so first part, theatrical, they don't sell the rights. Somebody gets a permission to do it. There's no major contract per se. I own the theatrical rights for all the movies. The contracts are very different in that part. Okay, but I'm saying most movies, even Rajnikant movie, like last movie, Another, it ran for 21 days. Okay, why it's not the movie can't run more, but the thing was Netflix are willing to buy it.
Yeah.
The movie was released immediately on Netflix. So Pushpa, right? It made more money than 83. It's a 270 crore movie with a lot of artists and big part. But again, it's the audience who determine which movie becomes hit. Okay, I'm not here to judge. Okay, the quality of content, story, the politics of it. I don't want to go there because it's a very subjective part. You may have a different choice. I'm saying, can we create a market? If there's a market, people can go there and talk. Currently, it's more like how people are doing. Okay, I don't know. Horse trading is the wrong term actually, but if you see in the villages, right, if they're buying a cow or buffalo, right, they will not do an open deal. They will put a cloth on your hand and you will give some half round. That's it. So it's not very scientific how the trades are happening. At least how individuals ignore the top guys. They have hundreds of crores of rupees. They can manage differently. Even they have different challenges. But I'm saying smaller guys find it very difficult to sell the content. So we are saying, okay, we need to solve this part. So first part, can we put the platform, make it available, accessible for more buyers to do, right? So currently the bidding system is more open, transparent, right? More people can actually try, okay, if this content is all about this price, maybe I could have bought it. The exploitation kind of comes down in some way. Another part, you don't need to sell your right perpetually. You can just license it.
Okay.
Netflix and Prime has helped Indian market open in that way. Netflix doesn't want to buy, okay, I will buy a movie and perpetually, until they say, okay, this is a Netflix original, or they have funded it, or Amazon originals, everything else, they are buying it for a couple of years. 2-3 years, sometimes they want exclusive, sometimes they want exclusive. So there are multiple ways. Okay. So generally rights can be, how it is sold can be put in maybe 4 different ways. Okay. One is, what kind of screen are you watching? Are you watching in a big screen, maybe IMAX screen, or a theater, or a TV, or maybe smartphone, or whatever? This is one mechanism how people are licensing now. Okay. Second part, how is the data or content is transmitted to you? Is it same TV? If the movie comes through a channel, somebody is paying for it. If you're buying an OTT, somebody is paying for it. So there's a mechanism also comes into that play. Okay. Third part could be which geography you are watching. An Indian movie you're watching sitting in America, you may pay a different price for it because somebody has bought it at whatever rate. Okay. Or in theatrical in some other country, they were paying a premium for doing it. Or if a movie premiere happens, they pay a premium to get that part. Okay. Maybe a channel can do a live telecast as well. Or how are you sponsoring it? Okay. So let's say there's subscription VOD, right? VOD, right? Video on demand is there. There's a transaction VOD where you say, okay, I pay some money, I buy this content, or I rent this content in some way. There are solutions are coming to. So once the theater was impacted in last 2 years, a lot of innovation happened. So Book My Show is doing kind of movie rentals. You pay 150, 200 rupees, you can watch a movie.
Correct.
That's not their business. In the initial business was ticketing sell, right?
Yeah.
But they had to pivot. The market learning happens, right? So what kind of content are people willing to watch? So this is another area that comes into play. Okay. Another part would be language. We never bothered to think of language at all for a very long time. Okay. But what has happened is creating a fresh content costs you crores of rupees. If you want to make a Rajini movie or a big hero movie, right? 100 crores, 200 crores, or 500 crores is a pretty common number for making. Amir Khan movies, 300 crores kind of budget will be there for making a movie. Okay. And getting the money only in one language is difficult. Now, because of pandemic, audience taste have changed. Now we are watching Malayalam movies, Telugu movies, all kind of movies. Okay, so we have exposed more. Earlier, once even theater was there, we will not pay. Okay, should I go and pay 500 rupees, 700 rupees for a movie which I not seen the language I don't understand, where I don't want to read the subtitles, right? Some people do it, not other people do not do. Okay, now the market is opened up for that part, right? Now a movie is made. Okay, let's take it. Bollywood. Okay, so that's Hindi cinema. Then Tollywood, Telugu cinema, Kollywood or Tamil cinema. Sandalwood and Kannada cinema, and maybe Mollywood or Malayalam cinema. These 5 languages are doing about 90-92% of the total turnover of all the movies. Okay. I'm not saying other languages don't exist, but their industry is not that well established, or they don't have much budget for it for whatever reason. Okay. So if you dub in these 5 languages, chance of you increasing, doubling or tripling your revenue is very high. So this is one market which comes into play. So everybody dubs their own movie, but Pushpa did something beyond that part. They or Pushpa or Triple R for that matter. Okay. So Telugu movie, they become very smart. We'll do amazing story, we'll do amazing production quality, everything we'll do. But we'll get the hero, heroine, and maybe some fans also come take a private plane, and they are traveling to from Hyderabad, they're coming to Chennai, Kochi, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, any place to promote their movies. Other movies, so they'll do all online part. Okay, they're coming in physically and saying, okay, the actress will put 2 steps here, try to speak in local language, because the movie is kind of available dubbed. So people are associating better with those kind of heroes and heroines. And okay, and these movies are doing well. See, Pushpa's done amazingly well in Bihar. Okay. In Gujarat, not traditional markets for unknown. As for the heroines are not known though. Okay, and even after movie was released online, right? Theaters were still getting houseful. And that's the amazing part. People loved it, right? I don't know why they loved it. It's not a hero subject, it's an anti-hero subject, right? Last time something like this happened was about 1991 period, I think, when Roja released, right? Roja was a hit in every state it was released, every dub language they could do. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, it has become a hit. Because it was touching some story which people could relate with. Okay, but okay, so let's talk about another part. Okay, so film industry, we can divide in 3 eras for now. So first and second era would be, first was film era. Every shooting was happening inside studios. The cost was doing us very high. Cameras were still being innovated in some way. Audio came in later. So film based content, this was there for a very long time. That is the first era. That defined the producer concept, everything that has been there for a very long time. Second era, I would say, is 2010 onwards. Okay, so not only the movie creation part, even movie distribution, and also movie content delivery, right? Earlier using satellite or using internet, they could transfer content. So KDM. So now it's a digital projector which is projecting a movie. You buy a DCI format, any movie, how many number of screens you want to release, it's possible. Earlier, you have to order a print. The print will take a couple of days. Movies ahead, it will take at least 3-4 days for them to get extra couple of copies. Okay. The film will kind of scratches will happen, they will get a new copy. So now there is every time it's a fresh equal digital print. Right. So that is changed. Okay. So theatrical is changing on that part. So second part is all digital. And again, I'm saying, I'm not saying, okay, I'm helping movie to digital. No, I'm not doing that part. Already people have done it. They see value that part. Okay. Another part, because of pandemic, see, I think pandemic, okay, there are 100 things that are wrong with it, but there are some positives out of it. Okay. Literally, I think this pandemic is like a time machine. We were pushed nearly 2 decades ahead. So things which have been adopted later has come in a lot earlier, right? Education part, right? See, in a lot of schools and colleges, taking phones was banned. You can't take a phone, right? Okay, there are a lot of things. Okay. Suddenly, every kid needs a phone. Every student needs a phone, right? Only with video they could learn classes. Not only student, but student will be smarter in some way, but teachers have to change their behavior as well. So similarly, we are saying, okay, hey, already people have gone to OTT part, and also the OTT, they have started watching international content, also other country content. See, in India, there's a latent demand for a lot of Korean content. But this is still elitistic in the sense, Korean content is not available in local languages. If it becomes slightly more accessible in that part, so cool kids are watching. My daughters watch Korean, Mandarin, Philippine, Thai, whatever is interesting for them. So there were some Korean movies were released. Okay, BTS live shows happened on theaters actually. Okay, but only a couple of thousand people would have been watching that kind of content. But if the Korean series, which story is amazing, everything's cool. If we can dub it in maybe Telugu, Tamil, or Hindi or other language, right? A new generation of audience will come. And if people are exposed to better content, then we will have less masala movie and more movies which relate to people. So this is a cultural phenomenon which can come in if we can do it. Similarly, if we can come this part, we can bring in best movies in India and we can show these movies. Okay, if you have a marketplace, they can't go and discuss, okay, who the producer is, how much you will buy it for. At a lower price, we can go and establish our content globally. We were talking with somebody in Turkey, we're talking with somebody in Korea. Can we get Indian movies released in Korea? Not in theaters probably, but at least in an OTT platform. Can you dub the content in Korean and do it? So can we, whole globe is a market. See, we have to build a soft power, right? Maybe government of India should help us in some way. We can work with embassies and say, okay, hey, can we organize Indian film festivals, right? And on their OTT platform should be available. It's not like people come in through theater and only through hype. So we can do a lot more with that part. So first version was, let's build a marketplace, create awareness. We have signed up over 500 movies now. And yesterday we launched in Hyderabad. So Tamil, we had prominent Tamil movies for us, but gradually adding Hindi, Telugu, other thing. But Telugu launch has happened now. So we'll get hundreds of Telugu movies to join us well. Similarly, we are planning a launch for in Kerala and Kochi next week. Okay. And then in Canada. And eventually, by the time, hope we can close a funding round and we'll be coming in Mumbai as well.
Okay, so that's a lot of the problems you talked about now, the issues that we have currently. Why is blockchain or NFT the best position to solve these issues?
Okay, so can it be not done in other traditional ways? Probably.
Correct. Yes, can we not? So one of the problems
can we have a database?
Region.
We can do it. Okay, so currently, let's take example of IMDb. Okay, IMDb solves some problems, right? It works. Okay. But because IMDb is currently owned by Amazon, Netflix will not show you IMDb ratings. It's as simple as that. Okay, why do you want to show a compact? So Google, okay, so everybody's having some play in this place. Okay, Apple has Apple TV Plus, Google has a Play Store, and they're selling videos, music. They all have in this space. Okay, also books also is available in a lot of platforms. Amazon sells a lot of books as well. So we start with movies. We'll get into music because in India, movies has music. Often books are converted into movies, or the book screenplay can become a book. So we have a couple of combinations, probably games, something. There are 4 areas which we want to touch on that part. Okay. First part, okay, blockchain is kind of cool now, item 1. Second part is, there is no transparency. See, currently I'm saying this, currently the system, how it, getting entry into the industry is difficult. Who's the right player? Okay, who's making it? Okay, so you can learn filmmaking in New York or Australia, some other place you can do that. But releasing a movie in India, that means, okay, you need to know, oh, these people exist. We're not aware of these people existing. And these people can decide what kind of content is released, not released, how they're released, how the purchase happens. discovery happens. This is very difficult. Getting networking into it, people take a couple of years even to get settled into it. Before you get accepted in that industry, it takes that much time. Okay, so I could have went in. Okay, my co-founder is a film producer, so I got some early access into it. And out solving a problem from outside seems so easy for us. Okay, but if do you have skin in the game? You have to have that part, and then you have to solve the problem for it. Okay, so blockchain is kind of radical transparency.
Okay.
Yeah, there are hundreds of movies or thousands of movies on OD platforms. Not all the movies were directly bought from producers themselves. Maybe last couple of years, all the older movies came through multiple brokers or people who own the content libraries. Right, 5-6 hands have changed. Producers don't know how this guy got this movie and got it. I sold to this guy. See, think of it. Okay, you want to buy a property, right? So easy part you can do is you can go to a register office or online you can file it. You can submit a encumbrance certificate. Hey, who owns the current movie? Okay, the tenant may not be visible, but who owns the movie data is available with government. Because there's no mandatory copyright registration, there's no way to prove. So, somebody is squatting content. Okay, so somebody you made a producer, you never released to write to somebody. Somebody got a copy from some other way through torrent or whatever, and he's releasing the movie as YouTube, claiming he has copyright for it. Think of it, okay? And he's making money, you're not making money out of it. Most people are not all producers are tech savvy. Some people are in their 80s and 90s, okay? People. So copyright itself, 1962 onwards, all the movies are still in copyright. They should get some merit of it, okay? If there's a 70s, 80s movie on YouTube, which people are watching, sometimes the scene, sometimes the TikTok, so are they making any money out of it? If they're not making any money out of it, for whatever reason, maybe we are not doing it right. So maybe can we improve it now? So we think, okay, so one film version is done, digital is done, can we bring IP? And how movies are made? If theatrical is not possible, see, for India's population, we have far less theaters. In the US, you get easy to get a theater. For our India's population, at least 10 times more theaters you get. But if pandemic, another couple of waves keep coming in, right, nobody's going to invest on theater part. So digital is a better mechanism, but I'm thinking you have to budget for that. So probably what we can probably do is, let's say, when we're creating a startup, right? What do? So we create a separation between us and the company. Hey, risk, this is the idea. Can you take a risk with this idea? That is what I will push for, right? And people invest and people take, okay, I will take this role. I will take a pay or a pay cut. I will take a stock options. That is how startups are built, okay? So think of every movie as a startup, right? So there should be no financier. Don't give me loan at 3%, 5%. That's kind of absurd. If you believe in the movie, give it in some way, take a stake in the movie. I own 5%, 10%, 20%, negotiate something like that. And whole movie, okay, same actually applied to stars as well. See, there are a lot of amazing artists who won national awards, but they are not getting much film opportunity at all. Because of commercial consideration or because what politics they have, or nothing. People determine some people determine who should come, whose face should be visible, that kind of thing. I don't believe in that as well. I'm saying, hey, can content be created in a different way? Okay. So in crypto, there's a term called DAO, right? Decentralized Autonomous Organization. So that's a easier version. So think of, I create a private limited company for one movie. A movie is a flop, and the copyrights of the movies will be the film part, and next 60 years I do compliance cost. I know what is the compliance cost per year for a movie, for a company for now, right? But for 60 years, you add up, I'm not going to make any money at all. So maybe a DAO would make sense. Maybe the ownership can be given some kind of crypto. Okay, this much percentage tokens you have own for this movie. And when you want to make a next movie, you can sell some tokens, you can encash whatever you have. And at that point, besides the film people, fans can own it. So there are a lot of Ilayaraja fans, SPB fans who are like, the 40, 50-year-old songs still are very big hits. Okay, I would love to own those songs. What do you own today, right? So I'm not here to say, okay, my company, though we are doing NFT and everything, I'm not saying every content is valuable. I don't think. Okay, some random ape photo worth millions of dollars is still kind of not digestible. But I'm saying the movie which is, I'm trying to build, okay, movie itself has cost several crore movies to make. Right, that's how. So the content itself, there's an inherent value to it, and it has a potential to have 60 years. The law allows it. Okay, so we are saying we will ensure you will get some revenue. Who create content? If you're on our marketplace, we will ensure you will get revenue for next 60 years. So this is a multi-generational business.
Okay.
Think of a SaaS company, right? If a customer is a 1 year, 2 year, they are very happy with the number. I'm saying this, if I can help them get revenue from that movie for next 60 years, right? That's nothing better than that. I'll give you a lot of examples. Okay, 97 Titanic movie came. So there is a concept in US. Okay, one is there are extras there. People who don't have dialogue, they are called extras for Hollywood part. Even if they make one dialogue, right, they are considered as artists for that movie, and there is some royalty given to them.
Okay.
So the movie had one scene where there's a mother and a kid. The kid has one dialogue, mother doesn't have a dialogue. And this guy was a 5-year-old kid who speaks one line, right? And that's it. The ship kind of goes down. Okay. It's been 25 years from Titanic release, right? That guy is still getting paid. Okay. Now he's in 30s. He's not in film at all. Okay. He's still getting paid checks. $100, $200, $500 after 25 years. Think of it. See, every movie will be a hit. There's no guarantee. You're starting out with a small movie, it will do okay, it will recover the part, people will discover, okay, you have a talent, next movie will do slightly better, right? Some will be big hits, some will be flops, but every movie can generate some revenue for you. There is no pension system, right, for creative artists, right? What if this is a recurring income coming in, right? See, we do not encourage people to come into arts. Everybody cannot be engineer. See, if only engineers made or technologists or scientists made content, we'll make all documentaries, right? So camera was invented, right? There a lot of process were improved, okay, but they were not doing cool stuff. Only when the artists came, right? Only the creators came. They came with ideas. Okay, what kind of story will people like? And they worked on it. And we are seeing amazing work. We have awards and systems and everything. A lot of recognition comes into that part, right? And it opened hundreds of billions of dollars, right? Similarly, books and industry, books, music, films, and games, about $500 billion worth of business per year. If we can unravel it in a different way, probably we're talking about a couple of $1 trillion of value coming into play. And another part is metaverse. People are not going to keep playing games inside metaverse. They need some content. So probably we are believing that not new nights are coming into that space. And we are doing some work on that part. Okay. So I can't disclose much on it because some investment fund round is going for us. So
okay.
Yeah.
So on your platform, do you just connect the buyers and sellers, or do you actually facilitate the transactions, the payments? Do you have systems for all that?
It happens at different parts. So initial part would be, okay, lowest level would be, hey, whenever there's an inquiry, like, see, you go to Amazon because a lot of buyers are there, right? Or a lot of sellers are there.
Yeah.
So if there are a lot of products there, I can find a product what I want is easier. So buyers find it easier if they have a marketplace, right? Sellers, he's making only one movie every couple of years. You have to connect with who the right buyer is, who the right producer, who may buy it, who can release a movie from. So you don't keep in touch with these guys regularly. In 10 years, you make 5 movies, right? So you're going to talk to this guy only 5 to 7 times, 10 times. Not the right approach to build a relationship. These people move or their taste might change. The guy may shift industry, all kind of things happen, okay? So since we are able to work with thousands of movies, right? We need to constantly keep touch with all the buyers. And also how the buyers work. So if you need any large deals, the buyers are there. And Netflix or Prime or let's say AHA, right? All would have some buyers. And they have a mandate. Okay, I want to buy content from these languages, right? Ignore movies already. Okay. If you're flying, right? Every airline, they are putting some movies, right?
Yeah.
They can't go and find a producer, write a contract with them, work with a lawyer. It's not viable for them. But they also don't have a huge budget. Their movie runs for 1 month or 2 months maximum. They want to pay a low price. There are about 100, 200 airlines there. Okay. Now Air India is available. Can I deal with Air India? Air India, you fly across India, all 15, 18 languages, I will give you content. I also bring in some international content, some comedy for kids. I have to bring these kind of content, right? Every month, every alternate month, I have to change content for them. And how much budget they would have? They will say, can I pay 25,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees per movie? If I bring in lawyer and a contract, single guy working will not work. So I have to give them a bundle or offer. So each person, okay, somebody was, okay, let's say International Women's Day is coming, let's do something, okay, on a woman kind of concept. Can you get me interesting content in this space? Or award-winning season, or Oscar award is coming. Can we, any movie which is listed for any awards? So those are content people watch. So even those guys are busy guys here. Somebody has to say, hey, this movie is good, go and watch it. And they see it and they like it. And then they can say, okay, maybe can we buy it at what point? Or do you want to globally or India or whatever, or want to try it? So that is how the sales actually works. Somebody has to say the movie is good, go watch it. We will enable that part. So we'll arrange a screener where awards are happening, right? We can get you good content. Okay. Sometimes we'll also fund you or do some crowdfunding. Assume if somebody's made only Tamil movie and this movie is, we believe it's very good. We will help you dub it in a couple of more languages so to increase the revenue. See, signing one movie and a 5-language deal is very easy. It's an increment for them. So let's say Jag Mein Jandiram, okay, this is a Dhanush movie which released last year. The movie was an average movie, not a great movie per se, but the core principle was illegal immigration and human trafficking, right? And what conflict it creates between local people, other people. That's what the story was there. And this problem was a universal problem. Every country we would have seen that kind of thing. Okay, so Europe, every language is dubbed. South America, Central America, and Southeast Asia. 18 languages the movie was dubbed. Because Netflix can do it. Okay, I'm saying why can't do it in 100 languages? Why can't do it for every language? See, in future, technology is going to enable you to do all those parts. You have a base language scripting available. So there's a universal language models are coming in. So at least subtitle doing for 100 language or 200 language straightforward. No big deal. I can give you all that part. Okay. People want more information. Like Netflix also asks for accessibility part. Can somebody explain the scene? Okay. So Senthil is sitting in his room and there's another meeting going on. They're talking about this topic. This kind of description content also people asking for it. India doesn't have those kind of things yet, but it's a matter of time. Once we define a rule for accessibility, everybody has to bring that content. So as a platform, we can enrich these people, educate people what are required for it, how do we work on it. And if they don't have the right skills, we can do it. Again, once we are VC funded, at least we can do more on promotion of these kind of content as well. And later maybe tokens kind of thing system will trigger how movies are being made. We have to reduce the cost of production of movie, cost of financing of movies, and also make it available across the globe. Okay, see, think of it, across all the OTT platforms in India, like nearly 80,000 movies have been made in the last 100 years. Okay. About 10,000 movies are only available. Another 70,000 movies are missing. Okay. I'm not saying all the movies are great, okay, but a lot of known movies are missing. Okay. They have no intention of bringing in. Now, what is the point of bringing a movie? See, subscribe, when you go into subscription model, they are not here to, okay, we are the movie fans and we want to make sure every movie is available. No, they're not in that part. You are paying me this much, I need to give you enough to keep you there. That's all the opinion is, okay. But I'm saying, so if the movie is not available on any subscription VOD platform, can there be a transaction VOD platform? Every movie ever released should be available in some platform. And it need not be cost you 500 rupees, 200 rupees. Okay, can you get a content for 10 rupees, 20 rupees?
So you want to be that platform which has...
No, we will enable that.
Okay.
I can build a platform is straightforward. Technology, I have a technology background to do that part. Okay. But I'm saying we can open more opportunities. I'm saying it's not going to be only 3 OTT platform, 10 OTT platform. Okay. See, Malayalam, they had nearly 10 OTT platforms. So why can't we can have a genre for OTT platforms, right? Why can't we have international series? People are world cinema. Why can't we have OTT just for that? Okay. Don't bring in regular content. I will bring global content. Okay. Or why can't we have content for a different language, right? Or maybe a thing which, see, in US, if you're gone, you will see there'll be Turner networks, right? They would have movies only in black and white. There's a channels for that. Okay. If your parents, you want to have a series, what parents they lived in 60s and 70s and 80s, they want to watch movies which they saw in theater. They don't want to see the latest movie at all. Maybe that is the cause. Can we have a OTT platform just for that? It satisfies their needs. And need not cost you 200, 300 rupees, but can't be paid at 50 rupees. Can't do it 50 rupees for your parents, right? So that model, how it works. So if you want to launch a platform, and you want to launch a new OTT platform, see, technology is easier. Somebody can do it. We work also with multiple people who are launching OTT platforms. Okay. But you don't have a content. Who's going to give you content? Okay. And you know, buy it at cost efficient way. If you can't have buyer and across all the plates and try getting other content, it's not practical. So I'm saying a marketplace kind of makes more sense to enable it.
Do you see OTT players as your main buyers on this platform?
Yes, OTT players across the globe.
Correct. Okay.
Not only India. Okay, there are about nearly 190 countries. So there about 120, 130 countries have a couple of OTTs, right? Besides Netflix and Prime, there are other OTTs, the local OTTs are available. So we want to be part of every one of them. Reach out to everybody, and if we can do that part, and they also need content now. They need fillers. And they want change. Okay, so like we're talking to somebody in Indonesia, they want content with, let's say, what do you call? They want content with Indian women in saris dancing or that kind of thing. So they have opinion of what India is. Right? Turkey, they want to say, okay, hey, what kind of stories you can tell me for Turkey? But it's not Arabic. It's not Indian language they want. They will dub it in their language. Okay. The cost goes up. But I'm saying if we can go and establish a lot of these micro markets, right, over the period of this will all flourish, and Indian movies will be known beyond. So we are defining, okay, what is called Indian cinema. So a lot of people think, okay, see, if you go to let's say a foreign country and say Indian food, they only know Punjabi food. But tandoori is what they know. They don't know anything beyond it. Okay. So in Tamil Nadu itself, there are at least 10 cuisines I'm aware of. So we have to give them a nuanced taste. Hey, there are more things than what is coming in, right? So maybe if we can do that part, we will be doing a good job for our culture part, right?
Okay.
We need to build a soft power, and that's how this model will work. Right?
Okay.
Generate models of exposing. We have to bring the content from there to here. Also, this content should become available in those countries as well.
Okay. And I have a technical question. So, in terms of what you mint in the blockchain, so do you mint the actual script of the movie or the?
So okay, yeah, that's okay. Then it's not an image or video will be on some IPFS or ARV. We're not putting it. Okay, that will create a problem. So we'll enable piracy kind of thing will happen. Okay, people can even read the blockchain is all public.
Correct.
So what would happen is, let's say, if Netflix is buying some movie from here, we will have a content delivery platform, a CMS, content management system will be there.
Okay.
All the content will be licensed, registered, what was required for it, right? At this resolution, let's say 4K, 8K, with this quality. See, currently buying content has a lot of challenges, right? Posters should be of this format. The way one you use for posters, use for marketing, right? Which will have all the hero named actor. You don't see any of those on Prime or Netflix, right? They will have a vertical one, horizontal, but they have specified that part. If they're moving content, they'll say, okay, I need audio in this many languages. It should be in this format. They have a lot of QC involved. We have to clear that part. So we will ensure all those are ready when they are buying it from us. And if they need copy, if they lose the copy for whatever reasons, okay, hey, you license this content for 2 years, 3 years, right? With that access, we know who has bought the contact, and we will enable. Maybe initially we have only one, but we'll have multiple partners. This guy can give you the quality of this quality content at this part, and we'll ensure that part. Also, on a longer term, like we are enabling archiving of all the content. We should not lose movies.
Okay.
You can go and watch, let's say, Ben-Hur, right? Or let's say 2001: A Space Odyssey, amazing 60s, okay? Initial Planet of the Apes, right? 1967, okay? These movies are available in 4K, in Blu-ray. There's a director's cut available because they have restored the content as well. And a lot of this work was done out of India. In Prasad Labs in Chennai, they were doing a lot of back-end part. I'm not aware of those parts. But our movies, so many movies on OD platforms have scratches. Title will shake, right? Because nobody spent money on restoring it. Yeah, I bought the right from this guy, and the original guy has a negative something available. If we can do, we want to have an initiative for that. We want to get a foundation which will say, if we could raise enough money and effort, we want to restore every movie in the highest possible way. So this is our cultural history, right? I don't want somebody to discover a film somewhere and then try to restore it. Let's do a content, give them a digital in the future, it should be available, right? What happened to Harappa? We don't want to go in that mode, right? We want to have, in a very good way, we want to deliver to the future, right?
Okay. Okay. I think that's all I have for you, Senthil. Thank you so much. Let me just end the recording.